This is me responding to Deconverted Man's questions about the video that I posted. And he's got questions, and, well, I don't know if I have answers that are what he's looking for specifically, but they are answers. So I'll just play this. I don't remember where we're at.
Happens to be perfectly balanced to support life.
Well, this is the weak anthropic principle. It's so well balanced for life, but then if that was true, we would find life everywhere. But we haven't. But we haven't explored that much of space or planets yet, although we're doing that thanks to science. So this idea is basically, well, the universe is made for us, which is very much egotistical. Perhaps life arose because the universe happened to have the things that allowed life to arise. The universe allowed us to come into existence. It didn't plan for it. It didn't care about if we did or not. But here we are. But what this does is reverse all of that.
Hence,
Well, actually, that kind of like makes you think that you're almost supporting my argument. I mean, I kind of see that as almost evidence to the things that I'm saying. And the reason why is because you said that here the universe is perfectly tuned to support life, yet so far we've only found it in one place. Now, if life evolved independently by itself, the inorganic becomes organic, and this is a routine situation without the necessity of a designer or a creator, then we would find it in many other places. It would be widespread, like you initially said there in the beginning of your comment. And so far, the only evidence that we have is here on Earth, and we haven't figured out how to make the inorganic into organic. And even if we did, it would only prove that it could be created, not that it could come into existence without help. But SETI and people with radio telescopes, they point them into space and deep space. So far, they haven't gotten any radio signals. We'd assume that intelligent life would send out or use radio. It would be a logical thing to harness electromagnetic waves. We get to a point. Although, if with the theories of evolution such as it is, I guess that would take billions of years of evolution to get to a point of intelligence. And you could say that no other race or no other planet or has supported that particular intelligence, but maybe they do have life. And of course, people say that life has come to Earth. I haven't really seen the evidence of that. But when you say that we would see life everywhere, not the way that the Bible describes it. I mean, the Bible doesn't say that that doesn't happen. But I kind of get the exact opposite from what you just said, is that I would think that it would be more routine if it was something that just sort of happened by itself. And I don't even really see it happening right now. I mean, the way that the scientists describe the early Earth as chaotic and, very very hot temperatures, and where life originally started and all came from one point. It seems like things are more stable and more conducive to creating life now, but that's not even happening here in nature. I mean, you need organic to start organic. I mean, inorganic doesn't become organic. I haven't observed that in nature, and I haven't seen any repeatable experiments that bring life from non-life. There again, I don't want to discourage people from making Frankenstein movies. I think that's pretty cool. But anyways, I gotta move on. I don't want to
Stable
talk too
laws of physics. People will go to great lengths to explain away the existence of a higher power.
That preassumes that there is a higher power. I don't need to explain away anything until that thing has somehow been shown to even be a thing. And in fact, if it is shown to be a thing, I won't explain it away because I care about what is true, not about what I want to be true or believe to be true. I only care about what is really true. What can be demonstrably demonstrated to be true? What are the facts and what is the truth that those facts bear out? Where's the evidence for this? Where are the repeatable tests we can run on it? What is the logically coherent argument for it? We don't have those things here. We just have you say that this is true. Don't be deceived. This is the way that it is. But you have no proof for any of this.
Well, what I said about people wanting to disbelieve, part of that's based on some things that I've heard people say, scientists, that if they ever did kind of acknowledge design, then they would have to acknowledge a designer, and that would change the order of things for sure. They wouldn't be at the top of the food chain at that point. Yeah, but I kind of lost my train of thought just there. You had something to say at the beginning of what you said. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that okay. You didn't see any evidence, and you were looking for the truth. That's definitely a good thing, and that you don't see any evidence of creation. And I guess that is to some degree looking at a glass, and one person says it's half full, one person says it's half empty. I just became thirsty just then. Okay, and you see the same thing, but you draw a different conclusion. Anyways, I don't want to talk too long.
They themselves wish to occupy that space.
That requires special knowledge on your part to know that all humans want to place themselves in God's shoes. Having said that, I could do a much better job of fixing things and helping out people as God than I could do as a limited human being, and I certainly would do a far better job than your supposed God is doing if it does exist, because your God seems identical with what we should expect from there being no God. There's no direct action that we can see is a result of a God. Whereas if I was a God, I'd be very obvious about my existence and my help, and I would see if people even wanted my help before intervening.
Well, I mean, you say that, why should I assume that people wish to be God, or wish they have that power to be their own God or to be a God? But human beings, I won't generalize that everybody, but what you just said, I mean, you started to say that, why would I assume that? And then you say, if you were the God, and then you started, saying the things that you would do differently. And I think the same way. I think that most people think the same way. I mean, I see things that I don't understand, and I see things that I would do differently. And if I was God, I would do things differently for sure. We tend to look at things from our life perspective. Maybe it's 100 years if we're lucky. Maybe it's 1 year if we're lucky. I mean, any amount of life is a gift from my view. What God says is that it's eternal. So this is a very small fraction of eternity, even if it's 100 years or 200 years for that matter, or any amount of years. But anyways, we do think about that. I mean, most people think about if they had the power, what they would do differently. And I think that's understandable. That's how Lucifer got his start. That's how he started his career, wanting to be God. And God does things the way that he does things, and I understand that we don't understand that. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9, that's one I have by memory. God says, my ways are not your ways, and my thoughts are not your thoughts. As the heavens are above the earth, so are my ways above your ways, and my thoughts above your thoughts. So we don't understand him, but there could be reasons why we are challenged in some of the ways that we're challenged. I mean, there's been things that have happened in my life that have made me a better person that if they had not have happened, I mean, I would have chose that they did not happen. Trust me on that. I won't go into details. I won't talk too long. I'm just saying that we have struggles that make us better people, and our lives are fairly short. And make the best of it. It's the only one we have, unless there's more. But anyways, I'm going to continue with the video.
Their faith and religion is in their disbelief.
Whenever this comes up, I like to ask the question, is faith good or bad? Is having a religion good or bad? Because if having faith and or a religion is bad, then we should try to rid ourselves of faith and religion. And if having faith and or religion is good, then we should have a faith and or religion. So all this is essentially a 2Q. Well, but you have faith and you have a religion too. Which isn't true, but even if it was true, what's your point? You have to still demonstrate that it's false then, or you have to demonstrate that yours is true. One or the other. We're still back on square one. But the fact of the matter is, we don't have faith and we don't have a religion. I don't believe in this deity. You do. Similarly, you probably don't believe in a lot of things like leprechauns or fairies or goblins, orcs, or dragons. However, you do happen to believe in a God that's different from the goblins, orcs, and dragons. So that doesn't require faith for you to not believe in goblins, orcs, and dragons. Neither does it require faith for me not to believe in God.
Well, I use the word faith, and usually when people hear the word faith, they immediately think of religion. And I have to look at the dictionary to see exactly what the difference between faith and belief is. I think they're close, but they're not the same. Let's check that out. If I was to do this again, I would use the word faith, or rather belief, instead of faith, because as soon as people hear faith, they think of religion, and I think they just give it less weight because of that. But I have beliefs, and I think that most people have beliefs. And, well, they have, their guiding principles that they live their lives on and make their decisions on, and it's based on their experiences, but people have belief systems. People do believe in various things. Some people believe in government. Some people believe in this, that, the other thing, or they believe in themselves. That's usually a good thing, depending on who the person is, I guess. I mean, Hitler believed in himself, but anyway, forget I said that. That's okay. There you go. Faith is a loaded term. Certain words you use, and immediately, people have a reaction to it. So if you use a certain word, then bang, So I think that I would need to choose my words more wisely.